Hello, good afternoon, or good evening, good morning, depending on where you are watching from. It is Gail and Melvin, aka Sledge and Sweet Lips. And we spoke earlier this week about, you know, what are we doing to our children? What are we teaching our children? And we kind of went over some pointers and our point of view on things. So, what I want to say is that no one should get offended
No.
about someone's opinion because people are entitled to their opinion.
Yes, they are.
And we we don't know the people personally, but what you have to be aware of is that when you do things and you upload it to social media, it becomes public knowledge. And so then it can be spoken about. So, it's not like someone is in someone's door looking and, you know, turning corners, peeping over the roofs or anything. It's out
And
there
this is
in the
our
public.
opinion from
Right,
our point of view.
right. And, you know, we are parents. And so, you know,
Yeah, we
I
are.
want the best for every
We
parent
are
out
parents and
there.
grandparents.
Yeah,
We look good.
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
we look good.
yeah,
We got some good genes. I mean, oh
yeah.
man.
Continue on, continue.
You know,
Yeah,
we look, you can imagine how our kids, our grandkids look. Man, we look
yeah,
good.
yeah,
We're blessed over here. See that?
yeah,
Look at that. Look at that.
yeah,
We're blessed over here.
yeah. What he say? What he say? But anyways, on a serious note, um, hold on a second. Huh?
That's good, man. I like that.
Let me tone it down just a little bit so I can be able to see when we're done. But you know, we should always, 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 when you get the opportunity to advocate for your children, for
Mm.
any child,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the children, they don't have a choice or a voice as to how they're raised or what is happening to them, you know, because they look to the parents, they look at teachers, pastors, coaches as authoritative figures, and they're coming in from a point of trust. And when you take that trust away, then that child is broken. That child becomes an angry child. That child becomes the child that is doing the bullying. That child becomes that young adult that suddenly hit 19, 20 years old that is walking into these schools and into these supermarkets or restaurants doing the most harm, doing the most harm, that's turning people's world upside down, that is taking away someone else's loved ones or for stupidity. So I say again, if your child is needing any type of medical help for mental illnesses, if your child is displaying, hostility and anger, it is your responsibility as that child's caretaker to get that child the help. Never mind what your neighbors are thinking, never mind what your
Mhm.
family members are thinking. Get your child the help because we have to remember something. That child didn't ask to be here.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
they didn't. They had nothing. That wasn't a choice that they made. That was a choice that you made. And so, you know, it is your obligation to make sure that your child have an even um, playing field. So when you teach your child how to take that anger and turn it into a weapon on someone else's child, or you teach that child that hate and racism is the way to go, then you have failed your child.
Yes. Yeah.
You have failed your child, not the system, you. Because let me tell you something, a lot of times when the system failed your child, if you did not offer your child up to the system by teaching them the wrong way, then you cannot blame it on the system, okay?
It's true. As we said before, it starts at home.
Exactly,
Starts at home.
exactly. And it's your job to secure your child's safety, which means, you have to show your child or tell your child, role play at home. If a car drives up and somebody opens the door, what are you supposed to do? And it should always be scream. You should always teach your child, use your voice. You scream at your sister and brother, you screaming my name, calling me 4 or 5 times. Use that voice, but don't ever put your child in that predicament by having your young child, walk alone. Try to get a buddy system. Trade days with another parent. We have to be aware. And then we're not talking about just a child. We're also talking about these teenagers because, like I said, they're being snatched up by the seconds. Every second, a teenager is snatched up. And it just seemed like drug trafficking, sex trafficking, it is so high right now. It is so high right now. We make these movies and we sit down and we watch these movies about children being in those shipping containers and being shipped off to other countries and stuff. Don't ever just look at something like that and assume it can never happen in your backyard, because it can. So we need to try to cut down these missing children, cut that down. Let's just make improvements, starting now, trying to teach our teenage girls that, hey, you have these strangers or you have these young boys, and you know what? And a lot of times, it's not even the men that they have to watch, it's the women that's doing the dirty work for them. The women are luring these young girls into sex slaves. We have to be very careful and do our due diligence about keeping these young girls safe. Now, I did some, but you can tell you have something you want to add?
Well, no, I mean, you said it all, sister. You said it all. You was preaching good. Preaching
Okay.
good.
So you all know me, and I like to do a little research. And this is what I um, came up with when, normally we have a topic, and at the end, I will just look for the statistics and what I am saying. So, how many children come from abusive households? The statistics of child maltreatment and neglect show the severity of the problem. 4 million children maltreatment referral reports received, and this is just in 2021. Child abuse reports involve 7.2 million children. 90.6 of the victims was maltreated by one or both parents. What percentage of children who are raised in abusive households? Approximately 1 in 4 children experience child abuse or neglect in their lifetime. Of maltreated children, 18% were abused physically, 78% was neglected, and 9% are abused sexually. And this is as of May 29, 2023. Now we're going to talk about the child exposure to domestic violence. Prevalence data on children exposure to domestic violence also are concerning, but reported estimated a variety widely. This is by Edlison, 1999, Fantuzio, and Moore, 1999, and Osofsky, 2003. In the absence of national survey focused directly on children exposure to domestic violence, the two most widely cited statistics were developed by Carlson and Strauss. Using survey data, at least 3.3 million children between the ages of 3 and 17 witnessed serious parental violence each year in the United States. She based this estimate on the number of households experiencing at least one incident of serious violence each year, and then adjusting the findings for the estimated number of households with children, 55%, and multiplied by two the average number of children per household. Guys, those numbers are pretty high, and we need to work and do our part in bringing them down. Now, the violent behavior in children and adolescents, another statistic, and this one was from 2017, December 2017. And this here study was the 55th study done. There's a great concern about the incident of violent behavior among children and adolescents. The complex and troubling issue needs to be carefully understood by parents, teachers, and other adults. Children as young as preschoolers can show violent behavior. Parents and other adults who witness the behavior may be concerned. However, they often hope that their child will grow out of it. And this is true. We see that behavior, and then, or sometimes even a pediatrician will say, because to me, you don't go to a pediatrician for that type of behavior.
They're young, they'll grow out of it. It's just,
you there to make sure they get their shots and, tell me how to cure a cold. But so it says violent behavior in children at any age always need to be taken seriously. It should not be quickly dismissed as just the phase they're going through. Now, the range of violent behavior. Violent behavior in children and adolescents can include a wide range of behavior, explosive temper tantrums, physical aggression, fighting, threats, or attempt to hurt others, including the thoughts of wanting to kill others. Use, and here's a big one, cruelty towards animals, fire setting, intentional destruction of property, and vandalism. These are all signs, factors which increase risk of violent behavior. Now, these are the factors that will increase. Numerous research studies have concluded that a complex interaction or combination of factors lead to an increased risk of violent behavior in children and adolescents. These factors include previous aggressive or violent behavior, being the victim of physical abuse and or sexual abuse, exposure to violence in the home and or community, being the victim of bullying, genetic family hereditary factors, exposure to violence in media, being TV or movies, use of drugs and alcohol, presence of firearms in the home, a combination of stressful family, socioeconomic factors, poverty, severe deprivation, marital breakup, single parenting, unemployment, loss of support from extended families, brain damage from head injury. Now, what are the warning signs for violent behavior in children? Children who have several risk factors and showing the following behaviors should be carefully evaluated. Intense anger, frequent loss of temper or blowups, extreme irritability, extreme impulsiveness, becoming easily frustrated. Parents and teachers should be careful not to minimize these behaviors in children. Now, what can be done if a child shows violent behavior? Whenever a parent or other adult is concerned, they should immediately arrange for comprehensive evaluation by a qualified mental health professional. And
That
that's
makes
not
sense.
your doctor, that's not your family doctor.
Yeah.
So when you take your child to the pediatrician and the pediatrician said they're going to grow out of it, then you know you're wrong and he's wrong, and get your child the correct help by the correct profession. Early treatment by a professional can often help. The goals of treatment typically focus on helping the child to learn how to control his or her anger, express anger and frustration in an appropriate ways, be responsible for his or her actions, and accept consequences. In addition, family conflict, school problems, and community issues should be addressed. Again, it's starting from home. And if you're living on the block where everybody fights,
Yeah.
time to get out of there and pay that higher rent for your own sanity. Can anything prevent violent behavior in children? Research studies have shown that much violent behavior can be decreased or even prevented if the risk factors are significantly reduced or eliminated. Most importantly, efforts should be directed at dramatically decreasing the exposure of children and adolescents to violence in the home, community, and through media. So media is not left out of it. So which means that you still have to monitor what it is that you are allowing your child to watch on their TV, on their tablet, on their computer, and on their phone that they have 24/7.
Technology.
Yes. Um, In addition, the following strategies can lessen or prevent violent behavior: prevention of child abuse, use of programs such as parent training and family support programs, sex education and preventing and parenting programs for adolescents, early identification and intervention programs for violent youngsters, monitoring child's viewing of violence during their screen time, including the internet, tablet, smartphone, TV, movies, videos. There you have it, guys. There you have it. If your child, if your children are displaying any of the 12,
Behaviors.
15 behaviors that I just read off, then it is your job to seek the proper help. And then you, as the parent, should seek help for yourselves in how to resolve your in home conflict. And sometimes, parents separating, whatever, there's just a lot that plays on the child. And like I said, the moment you laid down and you decided that you were going to have this child, then it is your responsibility. And even though you decided to have the child, and for you men, if you laid down with no protection and had that child, then it's still your obligation to be a part of that child's life to lessen the blows or whatever it is
Yes.
that that child is going through. You have an obligation. And if you find that one parent is not doing their job, then it is your job to step up and protect what you took the joy to make.
Yes.
Okay? So, this is Melvin and Gail, Lips and Sledge. And that is our statistic, and that concludes our topic of what are we doing and what are we teaching our children. We have to do better. We owe it to them because a child did not make a decision to bring themselves here. Okay? Brother, you need to answer because I think we've done.
What you say?
I said what I said.
There you go.
We thank you. We thank you. And again, if you think we missed something, you want to add something, just leave it in the comments.
Yes.
section.
We don't mind going back and forth.
Make
Let us know your
make it,
opinions.
yeah, make it so I don't know why I just keep forgetting. I'm going to start pinning the app
Comments.
in the comments so that whoever wants to join in live, you're joining live, and whoever wants to call, um, I will do the WhatsApp number, or you can just hit the join button.
Decent calls.
Yeah,
No
decent
anger.
calls.
No anger.
Yeah. Don't call here trying to cuss somebody out about their opinion, because then you get that button. Whoop. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us, allowing us to express ourselves. If it's something that, there's a parent out there and, they want to put their 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, you can go up to 10 cents, okay? And you
That's a
could
good one.
just,
That's a good one.
join us, okay? So thank you so much. It's Lips and Sledge. Until next time, stay safe, love your child, you owe it to them.